This is Warzone Jones, and this is my video response to teameryry as far as making a challenge and making your own stable. I got a list of 4 guys who I think will make a pretty good stable, and I got a pretty good name for these guys to basically describe, these guys' characters and how they are. And the name of the group is going to be the Egomaniacs, basically because pretty much all 4 of these guys are egomaniacs when you think about it. So I'm going to go down my list. The first guy I'm going to go down the list is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho for sure is an egomaniac. Chris Jericho is the type of guy, at this point in his career, his character is basically, he thinks his shit don't stink. Basically, Chris Jericho literally believes every word he says, and he says that he's the best in the world at what he does. He truly believes that. Even when he's not the champion, he continues to say that he's the best at what he does. And Chris Jericho is one of the best, by the way. Chris Jericho has been in the business, I think, almost 20 years, maybe. He's been in the business over 10 years, that's for sure. I've seen Chris Jericho in WCW when he made his debut in the WWE at the time of his WWF, and I was so shocked that that it was him. I really didn't like Chris Jericho in WCW period. Until he got to WWF, that's when I really started to pay attention to Chris Jericho. And ever since then, I did a video on Chris Jericho, basically describing how big of a fan I am of Chris Jericho. So you check that video out I have on Chris Jericho. But Chris Jericho, he clearly is one of the best. He's an egomaniac, and he's successful. He's a successful wrestler, no doubt. On to my next pick. My next pick is Jack Swagger, the current world heavyweight champion. Jack Swagger, this guy had to go through a lot of crap to get that world heavyweight title. I honestly, didn't think that Jack Swagger would be the world heavyweight champion now. But the simple fact is, they literally turned this potential wrestler who has this potential, main event potential, and they turned him into a jobber for some strange reason. Don't understand why. I don't know if he said anything to piss somebody off, particularly a guy like Triple H. But he damn sure was in the so-called WWE doghouse, where a guy keeps losing. But somewhere along the line, I guess somebody gave him a break. Thank God we got a new world champion. Some people say he probably was too early. I'm fine with Jack Swagger being world champion because I'm a fan of his. But Jack Swagger is another guy who's an egomaniac. You can tell by the way he talks. Just bragging about him being a two-time All-American. He brags about that. Now he's bragging about him being even world champion, which technically even makes his ego even much bigger. Plus, I'm putting him in a group called the Egomaniac. So Jack Swagger is my second pick. Moving on to my third pick, another guy who's for sure the egomaniac, Ken Anderson. Ken Anderson, who was formerly known as Ken Kennedy in the WWE. Ken Kennedy, in my opinion, I was so shocked that they let go of this guy. I was so shocked that the WWE let go of this guy. This guy had so much potential. He was a decent wrestler. He had good charisma. That's what they want. They want guys with good charisma. They want guys with these good mic skills, and that's what he has. So Ken Anderson, I'm enjoying Ken Anderson in TNA. He's in TNA now. For all you fans who don't know what Ken Anderson is, Ken Kennedy, you don't know what this guy is. He's in TNA now, so check him out. But Ken Anderson, this guy was, he's just great in my opinion. His mic work is great. His charisma is great. He's an egomaniac for sure. He hasn't won really too many titles in the WWE. I believe he was United States champion, but for sure this guy was going to get a push, but he just kept getting hurt. Unfortunately, he kept getting hurt, and eventually they got him released. Some people say that Randy Orton got him released because apparently, Ken Kennedy almost hurt Randy Orton. I think at the time they just signed him to a 10-year contract for $10 million a year. Not for sure, but moving on. But Ken Kennedy, my third pick in the Egomaniacs. Moving on. Next pick, another guy for sure is an egomaniac. Another guy for sure, Randy Orton. Randy Orton for sure is an egomaniac. Whether he's a heel or a babyface, the guy is still an egomaniac. Now, you pretty much saw how big his ego was when he was with Evolution. When I first saw Randy Orton, I saw his potential. I saw that he could have been the next big thing, and he eventually did become the next big thing. Now, when Randy Orton became the next big thing, he became the world heavyweight champion. He became the youngest world heavyweight champion. He had a pretty good Intercontinental title run. He brought a lot of prestige into, back to the Intercontinental Championship. When he had his Intercontinental title run, I believe he had it for like 8 or 9 months. But Randy Orton, good wrestler, good. He's pretty good on the mic. He got pretty good charisma. He's not probably like the most charismatic guy out of all 4 of these guys, but Randy Orton's good. He's great. He's clearly over, whether he's a heel or a babyface. The man is over without a shadow of a doubt, and he's a former world champion. So that's my 4. All these guys are over. All these guys got great charisma, pretty good wrestlers. All these guys, and that's my pick. Probably won't agree with that. Probably won't agree with all 4 of these guys. Probably wonder why the hell did I put Ken Anderson in the group with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton somewhat almost got Ken Anderson. Well, pretty much. It seems like to me he sort of got Ken Anderson fired. Apparently, complaining about that he almost broke his neck or broke something of Randy Orton. Apparently, that's what Randy Orton says. Matter of fact, Randy Orton even disrespected him at a Q&A section he had at I think it's something for WrestleMania. One of the WrestleMania fan fest, he had a Q&A thing. He said he was dangerous. He made fun of him going to TNA. Matter of fact, he even made fun of TNA 6-side of the ring. He called it like the 5-side of the ring, the 6-side of the ring, the 20-side of the ring. He called it, stuff like that. You probably found that video here on the YouTube. But he even said that he thought why come you didn't get a new gimmick? He made fun of his gimmick. He thought he should have got a new gimmick. But nonetheless, I'm still gonna put that guy in this group right here. So those guys are just gonna have to kiss and make up. Not kiss, but they're gonna have to resolve their problem. So that's my 4. These guys are the egomaniacs. All these guys are great personalities, great in-ring ability, and that's just my picks. So this is Warzone Jones. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel, and I'm out. And give me some feedback. Comment. Let me know what you think of my picks.